Hello everybody, welcome to lunch break lesson number 5. And today I'm going to talk a little about basic sentence structure. We're going to start with the parts of speech, the little elements that make up the sentence. First of all, there is the noun. The noun is a person, a place or a thing. For example, here we have a picture, and in the picture, which was taken in a city, there is a gate and a woman. Now, when we add formal names to each of these elements, these nouns, we call them proper nouns. The city becomes Berlin, the gate is the Brandenburg Gate, and the woman is, of course, Deborah. Now, I want you to take note that whenever we use proper nouns, we must have a capital letter, a capital B for Berlin, a capital B for Brandenburg, and a capital G for gate, because gate is part of the name, Brandenburg Gate. And of course, Deborah has a capital D. The next part of speech we'll briefly look at is a verb. A verb is an action or activity, a doing word. So it tells you what's going on in your sentence. Now, in this picture here of Schmudler, it doesn't look like she's doing much, but she is actually sitting and looking out the window. The verb to be is a very common verb that you will find in so many sentences, and in fact almost all sentences you use. The infinitive is to be, the present tense, am, is or are, I am, he is, they are. The past tense, was and were, he was, they were. The present participle, being, the past participle, been, and the future, will be. Now, even though they're very tiny little words, they don't really, a lot of people don't think they demonstrate an action, but they do. They are all part of the verb to be, to exist. Let's move on now. An adjective describes a noun. It tells you something about that noun, about its size, its shape, or its colour. So let's look at some examples of adjectives. Here we have a beautiful garden in Vienna. Beautiful is your adjective. It's describing the garden. Vienna, of course, is a city, and it's the name of a city, so it has a capital V. There is green grass in the picture. Green being a colour is describing the grass. And colourful tulips. Many colours, tulips of many colours. It was a cold day, so I wore a warm coat. The next part of speech we'll look at is the adverb. The adverb describes a verb or an adjective. Let's look at a few here. We have the verb to run, and the adverb adding to the verb fast. That gives us the expression to run fast. And that gives you some idea of how the person or thing was running. To eat quickly. How was the person eating? Quickly. To sing loudly. It modifies how the person was singing. It modifies the verb to sing. An adverb added to an adjective modifies that adjective. So a pretty dress becomes a very pretty dress. Useful equipment becomes extremely useful equipment. And a hot day becomes a terribly hot day. So you can see that the adverbs give an element of emphasis in each of these cases. Let's move on now to the sentence elements. Let's start with the sentence object, which tells you who or what is doing the action. In this case, the businessman drank. Who or what is doing the action? The action is drank, past tense of to drink. Who or what? The businessmen are drinking. A compound subject is a situation where we have more than one word that makes up the subject. So it's not always one single noun. Let's look at this sentence. A lack of funds was holding up the project. So we have to ask ourselves, who or what was holding up the project? It was a lack of funds. So that whole phrase there is your subject, your compound subject. A sentence object. A sentence object tells you who or what is receiving the action or the verb. So the businessman drank sake. Who or what is being drunk? The sake. A compound object, like a compound subject, is a situation where you have more than one word. The slow economy affected the majority of businesses. So your subject is the slow economy, and the verb is affected. What did the slow economy affect? The majority of businesses. So your compound object is the majority of businesses. Then all we need to do is to put all these little pieces together. So we can join our compound nouns or our nouns, our objects, adverbs, verbs, etc. to make a sentence. Now there are many other elements to sentences. The more complex they become, the more other pieces you'll have in your jigsaw. But we're just talking about basic sentence structure today. So let's look at 5 basic sentence structures. You can have the subject plus a verb. The manager talked. Subject plus verb plus object. The manager talked to the supervisor. Subject plus verb plus adjective. The supervisor was rude. Subject plus verb plus adverb. The manager talked loudly. Subject plus verb plus noun. Tom is the manager. The simple rule that covers all of these is that all sentences, no matter how basic they are, must contain a complete thought. Now we'll discuss this more in your classes if you want to understand more of these basic sentence structures or the idea of what a complete thought is. But for now we're going to move on to question time. As with previous slides, just read the questions on the next 10 screens, choose the answer that is correct, and watch the next video to find out if you have them right. Ready? Question 1. What is the subject of this sentence? A lack of full-time job prospects has left a generation of young people feeling bleak about their future. What is the object of this sentence? It's the same sentence. A lack of full-time job prospects has left a generation of young people feeling bleak about their future. Now, I'm aware that these are not basic sentences. These are a little bit more complex. Question number 3. What's missing in this sentence? China's battle to fight a rapid slide in its currency is taking... Question 4. What's wrong with this sentence? The Independent Retailers Association says increased competition and the high cost of doing business are driving. Next, what's wrong with this sentence? Analysts fear the scrapping of the TPP is just the first shot in a trade war between the US and China. Question 6. Choose an ending from these 3 to make a correctly structured sentence. Slow demand for oil and signs of a US sail production revival. In the next question, number 7, I want you to put these components in the correct order. Again, what is the correct order for these components to make a complete sentence? And once more, the correct order for this sentence is... Now, finally, a tough one for you to think about. Why is this sentence not complete? Dozens of alleged illegal foreign workers found in the kitchen area. Now give it some thought, it's not that simple. Okay, now to check your answers, you will need to watch the next lunch break lesson number 6. The answers will be revealed at the end of the video, so don't forget to watch the video through until you get to the end. And don't forget, let me know in class if you want to discuss any of these answers. Bye for now.